I'm Riley. I play the banjo.
I'm Jeremy. I play the bass as of yesterday.
I'm Dan. I play the guitar and the saw and the vocals.
I'm Ella. I play the vocals and the kazoo.
I'm Bryden. I play rhythm guitar and harmonica and do vocals too.
Heck yeah. Thanks so much for coming in today. I think I've had both Ella and Dan in before with different bands. Ella coming in with Maida and Friends, and Dan with Ex-Cowboy. I think this is everyone else's first time, so yeah, thanks for coming into the station. It was phenomenal to hear you. I realized while listening, I was like, oh, I think this is the first bluegrass band I've actually heard live, and I'm like, this is fun. I love this. When did y'all start getting together and like playing together as Poppa Don Gernie? I heard a bit from Michael before that the story was pretty different 2 years ago. It started off as a different band, but do you want to tell me a bit of the evolution of the band and how it came to be what it currently is?
Yeah. So I guess the band was first conceived. Like 2020 was it? 2020. During COVID, live music had kind of fallen apart for me. And my current roommate, who I was not living with at the time, was hosting a little backyard art music party thing. I was like, hey, that'd be really fun. I want to go play some music. So I had some songs that had been playing by myself in my bedroom, some originals, some covers, and I was like, I want some people to play this with. So I got originally Michael and Bryden, and our first show we went under the name Wild Mike and the Boys. And we played in the backyard at my old house. And then actually moved into that house, and we met Riley. And we did another show, recruited him to play bass and sitar at the time.
Oh yeah,
that's quite a generational difference.
Yeah.
And the Gern stuff started when like 2 years ago. It was like too snowy for me to go to work, so I went to the store and rented a banjo, and then Michael came over the same day with a mandolin for the first time. So that's when he started jamming bluegrass.
They both walked through the door and were like, check out what I got. Check out these cool instruments at the same time pretty much. And obviously you're going to try to play them together. I think the first lick that Riley actually learned on the banjo was the classic
the Rocky
lick
Top?
Rocky Top, which is like the most classic bluegrass banjo.
Go get the banjo.
Dan, when do you think I came into the band?
About the same time that Riley and Michael got the banjo and the mandolin.
I feel like this is the most appropriate way for a bluegrass band to start, is everyone just kind of shows up.
Yeah, kind of naturally came together.
Yeah.
And Ella's voice was perfectly suited for the bluegrass and country stuff that we started doing.
Thank you.
And then Jeremy, you kind of just found him on the side of the road.
He's
in a broken
stumbling
down
around,
van. We're like,
lost,
hey, you
stumbling
want
right
to play bass?
It came along with the double bass, yeah.
We're really following the theme of just having our roommates be bandmates. Jeremy lives with us and couldn't not pick up the bass. So.
I feel like every time I see Instagram like stories from any of you, like that's the situation. It's usually all of you or some of you in a room jamming together, and I think that's like one of the most wholesome things, because I mean, other parts of the Victoria music scene, it feels like such a formal and rigid thing, but it seems like it's so freewheeling and natural and nice and loose, and with the ebb and flow of it for you all. Does that kind of inform the way that you play the music? Like, I know there was a couple songs written both by yourselves, and then I guess, is it kind of like pretty open, like who's bringing what kind of music in and who wants to play what songs?
I would say that the jam format is something that, just like as someone who partakes in it, but also as somebody who gets to observe it a lot, is really welcoming. I'm going to give Michael a lot of credit here. Michael is the one that brings us a lot of bluegrass tunes. When he picked up that mandolin, something clicked.
He's got like 10 new tunes a day.
Seriously, every time he comes over, he's got 10. And the thing about bluegrass is that it's really accessible. It's a simple, folk tradition. So it's usually major keys or major chords, and it's pretty simple format, So it's available for a lot of people to just hop in and try stuff and jam. And that also gives a lot of room for all these talented people to solo and kind of hone their own sound. I think that definitely does inform the songwriting a little bit, because it can either go, we want to write songs in the same format, or with something like Whiskey Mama, you can take Bryden's like New Orleans influence and kind of desire to write something a little bit more complicated than 3 chords.
I remember, I think it was Jeremy that described us as a jam band, and I never thought of us as a jam band, but I realized that we kind of are. We come up we jam, we create songs on the fly, and like all the solos are typically off the dome. So yeah, I find that a lot more fun than having something so formal, like you said.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, seeing the people that really embrace like jam bands, and it seems like some people kind of like compartmentalize that to certain genres, but there's a lot of creativity and fluidity that comes out of being so open to that format and incorporating different members, especially like y'all were saying with it being so many different roommates, like people you're living with, just kind of who's in your community. Like that feels very true to like folk and bluegrass and music like that, where it's like a lot of the people in your social circles and in your life are part of the music that you're playing too, because they also share a lot of those same stories, even though they're coming from different walks.
Exactly, yeah. That's really beautifully put and much more eloquent than I think that we could have expressed, but absolutely, yes.
I'm just summarizing what y'all said. So any other shows coming up in the future? I know that y'all have all been pretty active at like jam nights over at Herman's as well too and everything. But yeah, what do y'all have going on as a band and as yourselves?
Yeah, we have a show on May 17th at the Victoria Event Center with Autonomous Apes, Spank Williams, God Loves Rabbits, and we will be opening for that. Come on down. It's an incredible thing to witness bluegrass on a live stage. We're a really fun band to see live. Audience interaction is at an all-time high. And if you want to catch us, really just like come by our house's front porch. That's like the best way in the summertime.
It's a good porch.
It's a real good porch. Real good porch.
Yeah. Cool. And then as yourselves, what other musical projects do you have going on? Like what other kind of spaces are you in pursuing your creative arts?
So part of us are also in a 6-piece blues band called the Smokestacks. It has been going on for just over a year now. But we got Ella on vocals, Dan on guitar, Owen Pollock on guitar too. I play keys and harmonica, and we got Teresa on drums and Hyoga on bass. And I just recently joined a new project a couple weeks ago called Hope City Waters, and we just did a show at the Victoria Event Center on Saturday, and that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that one was with Aura Kogan and Actual Human People.
Yeah.
All 3 of these groups, all favorites over at the station here.
But both bands were amazing. I love those bands.
And Brian rips the keys, so if you get a chance to see him live, he's fantastic. Like, legit crazy. Yeah.
I remember seeing the Smokestacks for the first time at Rebel Ink and Moto with Conjure Hand, and I was just like, damn, y'all, like individually talented, phenomenal, like human beings, but together I was just like, ooh, okay, this is like a supergroup in the making kind of moment.
Yeah, thank you.
And also, I got to give a big shout out to Jim from Blues in the Morning. Every time the Smokestacks comes up, you can just see the excitement in his face. We were sitting in a board meeting, and when Jim had heard that y'all got a new drummer and a new bassist, it was the first thing that Jim said in the meeting was just, "Smokestacks are back together." No, it's just,
That's sweet.
Yeah, my other projects are the Smokestacks for sure. Hopefully we're going to get on that Blues in the Morning. It's hard because we all work, but we really appreciate all the community support that we've received for that. I'm on the vocals in that. I'm also in a band with Jeremy. It's relatively new. It's called God Loves Rabbits. I'm on the vocals there. Jeremy's on the bass. And I'm in Poppa Don Gernie, so
heck yeah.
it's this one.
What else you got going on, Dan? I think you're familiar. I've seen you around once or twice.
Yeah, I've been around once or twice. Yeah, so again, like Ellen Brennan, playing the Smokestacks as well, which is it's a big contrast to this band. Michael was saying we're kind of like a jam band versus Smokestacks is a lot more structured musically. So even though the music we're playing might not be too far off, it's a very kind of different community that we play in, even as well as that in a couple heavier bands, Ex-Cowboy, Job Site, and then have a newish band called Bongwitch. We're playing our 3rd show next Saturday, February 17th, and that one, where is that? I don't remember.
Big Fern.
Yeah, Big Fern with Fernwood Community Center.
Oh, yeah, I think that one just got announced, right?
Yeah, so that's with Job Site and New Sweat from Vancouver and Altered Dead. and Borogormic Leakage, which is another new local band.
Sorry, say that again.
Borogormic Leakage.
Okay. That's either a new word to me or a new word to reality. Either way, I like it.
I'm sure if you open up a medical textbook, it'll be in there
I
somewhere.
think it means when you have, like, you know, when your stomach rumbles and you hear all those weird sounds, that's like borborygmic leakage. I looked it up when I saw it too.
That's
I
a
could be wrong
great
about that.
onomatopoeia too.
Yeah, it is.
I was just like, I always wondered what it was saying, and now I know.
They shorten it to BBL. I also, I'm with Ella in God Loves Rabbits. We also got our friend Ivy on the guitar and Wilson from Disposal on the drums. I'm also playing, we're playing in a new hardcore band called Corrode. We're playing our first show with Bayonet Dismemberment from Vancouver, May 11th. And yeah.
I don't really in other bands. I'm jamming with this other group right now. I think we're back on the radio on Monday.
And that's with Sophia Miller?
Sophia Miller, yeah. And we don't really have a name for our backup band, but we're kind of between Barnyard and Regular Horse.
Regular horse.
Yeah.
I mean, when you
Like
start with
Crazy
two great
Horse?
options, that's, yeah.
Crazy Horse, but it's regular.
Yeah, just tapered in a little bit. Like, yeah.
Like, calm down.
Yeah, I was at that Sophia Miller show I think it was this past Sunday, right?
Yeah, at
Yeah.
Fernwood.
Yeah, that was phenomenal. That one was with Karis Dizumi, and then also had, who is it that was opening up? We'll find their name in a moment.
We'll check.
There's so many names going through my head. There's 7 of us. Quick maths. And then
Yeah, I don't really have anything else going on other than this group, but I like playing guitar by myself in my attic. So that's what I spend my time doing when I'm not with these
Well,
guys.
Michael's busy doing all the homework for this band, coming up with 10 new songs every week.
somebody's got to keep it rolling, right? All right, awesome. We are getting into the last 5 minutes of the show here. We are going to go on and play the rest of this song, and then I'm going to come back and read off a few events that are going on for the rest of the month here, because I forgot to do that earlier. This one is called Hole by Sunny War.
Don't you waste it, babe. Don't waste no time. Protect your heart and soul.